I think there's so many industries that could experience a kind of new renaissance. I think education is one. I'll give you a couple examples of some of the things I'm seeing in education. So my mom, by the way, now is no longer a social worker. She works for a college, and her job is to do giving. And one of the things she's noticing is that they spend a lot of money to build out the endowments for schools, but the cost of education is rising so much that if you actually look at what the starting salary of the average graduate is and the amount of years it's going to take to pay off those loans, it's kind of crazy. And I start to think when something's really, 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 really expensive, there's an opportunity maybe to do it in a more efficient way. One of the things we're starting to see is colleges having these things, I don't know what, there's not even a name for them yet. They're kind of like nomadic or mobile kind of educations. I don't think that educations are completely going to sit behind a computer, because I think a lot of things you learn, when you go to college, the biggest things you get are the community of people. And so I think education in college is going to look completely different 20 years from now than it is now. I'll give you an example. You go to college 20 years from now, you may actually be in a different city every single month. And we're starting to see some colleges starting to think about doing this idea. I know Colorado College, I think, actually does it not too far from here. So the idea is like, if I am an artist, I can go to Italy for a month and study in Italy, and I'll travel with a bunch of other students, and I can be matched with local artists, and we can have whatever experience you want to have there. You can, of course, stay in Airbnbs, so that will work out for us. And then you go to another city. And so I think that there's a sense that there's much more of getting outside the campus and matching people. And this was a highly inefficient way before kind of this peer-to-peer model. And so I think online education is going to be only one part of it. I think like education in the field, getting out of the laboratory, is going to be where it's going to go. I think food is going to change completely. I think any kind of service. The biggest asset in the world is not homes, it's people's time. And there's a lot of people that have a lot of time on their hands. They're retired. There's a lot of retired art history professors in Paris that are now giving museum tours to tourists or people that want to come to the city. And so there's so many of these things. I think education will see one of the biggest renaissance: food, tours, experience. I think transportation systems across the world will be privatized largely. And I mean, who knows where it will go from there. There's the Airbnb for dogs, dog B&B. I thought that, I'm so angry I didn't come up with that myself. There's Airbnb, yes, P, so if you have to go to the bathroom, somebody can rent out their bathroom to you, I swear to God. And it's actually doing well, and it got funding.
Okay, sure. No, one appreciates the idea, sure.
Yeah. We have, there's a lot of these, like there's like Airbnb for cats. You can match cats together, that's kind of weird. But there's like Airbnb for office space, so if you need office space. And okay, another trend happening, a lot of people can now work at a laptop, they're self-employed, they're working from home. Home is a very lonely place. People want to work in the presence of other people. So now we're going to have more and more peer-to-peer office spaces. And I think in 20 years, as many people will work in a co-working space because they're independent as work at a giant corporate office or work from home. So you're seeing a lot of this, storage, a lot of areas.